Welcome everyone. This is your own channel Learner's Saga. In this video, we will discuss the paragraph number 9 to 12 of the biography A Truly Beautiful Mind. But before starting, I'd like to request you to press the like button and subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to comment and share the video. So without wasting any time, let's begin. In the previous videos, we have discussed about Einstein's childhood days when he was a young boy, and also how he met with Mileva Merrick, whom he married later. And in this video, we will discuss from paragraph number 9 to paragraph number 12. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity. As in the previous paragraph, we have seen that Einstein, at the age of 21, he was a university graduate, and he worked as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern, which is also a city in Germany. And there he got his research paper also. And his famous research paper was about the theory of relativity. Here it says that one of the famous papers of 1905 was his special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Absolute means measured in itself, not in relation to anything else. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. So this is how Einstein's theory of relativity was. Actually, there is an example that if two clocks, and if they are both accurate and are of the same time, giving the same time, but after a few time later, when the both clocks should have been accurate, but that will not be. The clocks will differ, the time will differ. That is how Einstein's theory of relativity was. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. What is that? E is equal to mc square. This is the famous theory of Einstein. In this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, m for mass, and c for the speed of the light in a vacuum. Vacuum means the absence of air, an empty space where there is no air, and it's about 3 lakh kilometers per second. Okay, so the speed of the light in a vacuum is about 3 lakh kilometers per second. And to prove this relativity, Einstein gave one famous example, one good example, easy to understand. See here, when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That's relativity. Albert Einstein. That means Einstein means to say it depends upon the person. It depends, or it varies man to man. If a person is in a comfortable position, or if he or she is in a good position, then he can enjoy the time. But that very person, when the situation was different to him, and the situation was not favoring his condition, then that very person would not like time. Then he would be in a difficult condition, and that's how the theory of relativity is. So in paragraph number 9, we can see about the theory of relativity by Albert Einstein, where he propounded the theory E is equal to mc square. That is, energy is equal to mass and speed of the light in a vacuum, and if we take m and c as square, then it will be equal with energy. And he give another example depicting the condition that when a person finds a very favorable condition, he enjoys the time, while that same person, when the situation is not according to his wish, or he is fighting with the situation, then he cannot enjoy the time. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Yes, this is how it was. Einstein, although he was an expert, he was proving himself as a scientist in physics, but his private life was unraveling. That means it was about to fall, about to become fail. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. So you can understand here, it is very simple. Albert Einstein wanted to marry his beloved Mileva Merrick after he finishes his studies, but his mother, she doesn't like that. She was against this. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. So her thinking was different. Mother Pauline, she thought that Mileva was already 3 years older than her son Einstein, and they would probably not match each other. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. She is a book like you, his mother said. Okay, so another thing that Einstein's mother was worried, as Mileva was a very intelligent girl, the mother was worried that probably she would surpass Einstein's intelligence. That's why she said she is a book like you. As you are a very intelligent person, similarly she is. That's why it was the mother's worry, and she was against this marriage. Einstein put the wedding off. Put off means to postpone or to cancel. So Einstein, that's why, cancelled the wedding then. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. So finally they married in 1903 January and they had 2 sons. But a few years later the marriage faltered. Faltered means it became frail, weak. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. So as predicted by Einstein's mother, Mileva was also a very ambitious person, ambitious woman, and she was as wrapped up in family day-to-day course. She was losing her intellectual ambition, and that's why she was unhappy. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Yes, that's how thing was. After many years of fighting, they divorced finally in the year of 1919, and Einstein remarried in this year, and he married his cousin Elsa. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. That means when he married Elsa for the second time, his second marriage, Einstein was also achieving his fame, achieving his name in the world. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. So Einstein in 1915 had predicted in a general theory of relativity that there would be a time in 1919 when there would be solar eclipse. And as it happened, so Einstein's theory of relativity was proved. He was accurate. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. And as he was accurate in his calculation, as he already predicted in 1915 that a time would come in 1919 when there would be solar eclipse, so it proved his theory of relativity, and he correctly calculated that in advance. And his theory was, he explained that light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. That means, as he calculated the time that it would take 4 years or so, as he calculated that the light from the fixed stars would be deflected. That means the star's light, the fixed star's light, will change its direction through the sun's gravitational field within this period. The newspaper proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution, and as it was, the newspaper also proclaimed his work as a revolution, scientific revolution. So we have completed the paragraph number 9 to 12 in this video, and here we have learnt about Einstein's personal life, his marriage with his lady love Mileva Merrick, and their divorce also after he married his cousin Elsa, and simultaneously he was achieving his fame in the world as a physicist. His theory of relativity was propounded, he established that, and he also proved that he was accurate in his theory by predicting a solar eclipse would happen in 1919 in 1915. He said that in 1915 and it happened. So that's it today, students. In the next video we will discuss the remaining portion, but if you have any problem regarding anything, you may comment. I will try to answer you as soon as possible. So till then, goodbye.